Hello, 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 and welcome to Project Possible, the podcast where we ask what's truly possible. We all want to be healthier, happier, more fulfilled. The question is how, and that's what we're here to ask. Today, I'm talking to Emmanuel Sonubi, stand-up comedian. You might have seen him on TV, ex-bouncer. You might have seen him on social media. Emmanuel is an incredible stand-up. I had the privilege of seeing him live. He invited me to his show later that night at the Comedy Store in London on the day of our interview, and I went, and I'm so glad that I did. I had a fantastic time. Definitely did deserve to be backstage with the other comedians. Nowhere near funny enough to be backstage and crossing that hallowed threshold, but hugely appreciative anyway. Emmanuel was the first interview I did this series. I've been quite nervous to get back on the horse, so to speak. And Emmanuel was a great first guest to have back. It's lighthearted in most places, as you'd probably imagine with a stand-up comedian, but with a hint of seriousness. In 2019, Emmanuel suffered heart failure on stage while he was performing. And that had become the basis for his new stand-up show. It's called Life After Near Death. He debuted it at Edinburgh Fringe Festival just. He's going to be performing it all over the UK for the remainder of the year, pretty much. There are tickets, but they're selling quickly. Head to emmanuelstandup.com. There are tickets available up to the end of November right now. It does say that there'll be December tickets soon. On which note, head to Instagram and follow me, Rich Leigh Pod. That's Rich, RICH, I'm going to be posting a link to Project Possible's newsletter. And it's going to be a weekly newsletter where I give you gossip and backstage, behind the scenes stuff, and maybe we'll do some competitions. We'll talk about live shows maybe at some stage. I'm excited about what comes next. Oh yeah, I'm doing this full time. I've sold my company to do this. That's something I should say. My family had an awful recent tragedy. I can and I will talk about it. And as a result, and a few other life things kind of happening, I just thought, what am I doing? I want to follow my passion. I believe there's some purpose, and that's this. Let's do some good. So that's exactly what this is. I am full-time on this now, so I expect just all of my effort. I'm going to try as hard as I can to make this as great as I can for you, listeners and viewers. So thank you, and cheers for the support. If you would like to, it'd be lovely if you subscribed wherever you're listening right now. Most people don't. It'd be good if just head there right now. As you're listening to me, as you're watching me, just click that subscribe button. It makes a massive difference. It means that next week, next Monday, you'll see another episode. On which note, there will be another episode this week, a solo episode, me talking to the camera about what I'm doing and why. And I'm kind of going to call that, in pursuit of passion and purpose or something like that. Keep an eye out. Otherwise, I think that's it from me. So all that remains to be said is, without further ado, I bring to you my conversation with the hilarious Emmanuel Sonubi. Enjoy. But thank you for doing this, man. I'm really excited for this.
Thank you for
I don't know
having
if I don't know what Brett's told you, if anything, about the podcast. About
what each time I've looked online for you guys
did?
as well.
Bless you.
It's gone really well, hasn't it?
It's gone really well. Yeah. Some of the guests have been absolutely incredible. I mean, all of them have been incredible, but in terms of names and things like that, Brian Cox is probably the biggest one, the Succession actor,
Yes.
and he was. In our interview, he said the Bible's probably the worst book ever written. And as soon as he said that, again, I've worked in PR for 18 years.
Yeah.
He said that, I was like, go on.
Yeah.
And it just went massive, just went absolutely huge.
It's a valid point, that.
I mean, it's not a bad one, but I was like, yeah, say more things like that afterwards because it got so much press. The Washington Post said, we've contacted McDonald's for their thoughts because he's the bloody voice of McDonald's over in the States.
Yeah.
I was like, if I've, with this stupid pity podcast, cost Brian Cox McDonald's, he might murder me.
That's the thing, though. It's like it shouldn't cost someone their job
because he's just said
this is what's really dumb with
so
stuff.
conservative religiously. They're so kind of toe the right line. So I called his agent and she went, Rich, he's 77 years old. he doesn't care. He's got opinions. He's got opinions, and he wishes other people did too.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. So he's not coming to hurt me.
No.
And or send in like the boys. And I'm like, yeah, okay, good.
The funny thing about the Bible as well, because I grew up in a church.
Yeah.
And it's when you start, it's logical questions as you get older that just make no sense. Where you go, what do you mean? There's different versions? Like, shouldn't there just be one?
Yeah, there should.
Why is there a King James version? He wasn't there. It just made no sense to me. And then you start asking more and more questions. You're like, yeah, I'm not really buying this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, my favourite line is Gervais line is, if we all if everything failed to exist tomorrow, science textbooks will come back exactly as they are. A couple of things might be differently named, but the same elements, the same things, same compounds, and we'd have different religious textbooks, different religious tones.
Yeah,
and if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, then
we'd find out all the same things. Yeah. They would just have different names. They're all because science is just units of measure. That's all that is. That's all that is. Everything else, and we'd probably figure that out again at some point.
Because science fails, and it wants to fail. You know what I mean? It wants to iterate and fail and go, you're wrong, I'm right, and no, you're not. Yes,
it's everything's based on theory and to the closest integer, if you like. Yeah. That's why there's always science revisions.
Mate, I'm fascinated by everything going on at the minute.
Fascinated / scared.
Well, you're not getting replaced, are you? There's going to be some Mecha Emmanuel going up on stage. Nobody wants to see that. And I think that's actually art-wise, you're probably the safest of anybody. Because people want to see art. Photography came out. Nobody went, what about portraits? They're still a thing. People still paint. The art world's worth more than ever.
The art world is hilarious. I saw this. I'm going to use the term artist in a very loose category because, again, you get to sort of, as you get older, you realise you do have opinions. And I read, do you swear on this, by the way?
Yeah, absolutely fine.
And there's so many things I think, I couldn't give a fuck what other people think, if I'm being honest. And all it was this dude with a trampoline against a white wall, and he would just jump with his arm and then just draw a line on the wall so you'd see the motion of his jump.
That sounds so good.
There was an audience of people watching him going, oh, wow.
Oh, the snaps.
The snaps. The first time someone did that to me was at a show in New York. I told a joke and they started clicking at me. And Morris, I was like, what do you want? I thought they were trying to get my attention because that's what you... I was like, that's rude, isn't it? It was... That's the click has replaced laughing, and I don't think it should. Let's keep laughing.
I think laughing's a good thing. I think that's... Yeah, of all the things we should keep, that's probably the one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I know you've got loads going on. You're about to head up to the Fringe.
Yes.
When are you off?
I go up on the 29th of this month. I'm there for the whole month.
And how many dates are you doing up there?
25, 26, something like that. I'll do probably maybe 30 odd shows.
And then you've got 50 dates, is that right?
We're up to about 65.
Oh, wow, okay. I did count, that was my last thing. Yeah. I do a lot of research for this, right? And, so I literally counted.
We've got a load of, so there's a load of dates that are about to get released as well, some more dates. Nice. So I think because we're already nearly like 50% sold.
Exactly. I mean,
for the tour.
On the site, there's lots of like sold. Not a lot left.
Yeah, it's gone nuts, which is really really nice to see because you think now when you look at the progression, we've already sold more tickets. Like I think we sold more tickets in the first 2 weeks of releasing them than we did on the whole of my first tour. So it was.
What do you think that is? Do you think that's just you've hit this kind of, I guess, this point where people are like, I know who this dude is, I want to see him.
I think it's the kind of the sales thing where one person comes and sees you and tells two friends, and then that sort of just spreads. So it is quite nice when people come and speak to you, and like that's the first time they've seen you. And then hadn't actually heard of you before the friend said it, and we come to see you. And it was really good, and that feels quite nice because they're the ones that always go and tell their friends, but then come back and watch as well.
Social media as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Social media is a great one.
That's actually what I first saw you on, was you just Instagram was clearly like, hey Rich, I think you'll like this guy. And then I told Rob about it, and he was like, I love this guy.
The bouncer stuff, there's so many bouncers that have been in touch. Yeah. And it'll stop me when I go to clubs and stuff like that now. And it's because how many stories are there from outside nightclubs? And that was the funnest thing, that I don't have to make stuff up. You can literally just tell people exactly what happens. Yeah. And it's hilarious. And it's all the stuff that happens at the front of the nightclub as well, because you don't see that because you're nice people. You're in the club. Yeah. It's the idiots outside the club that give you the most comedy.
I wanted to start by asking you to explain flaming arsehole. All right. So,
yes.
I'm a rugby player as well. I want to get into that with you. I say I'm a rugby player. I'm 37 now. My knees are crocked. I'm not a rugby player, but I say I am.
You are though. Like once you're a rugby player, you're a rugby player.
So explain for the uninitiated what flaming arsehole is.
Do you know what it is? So my kids play rugby as well. Like my house is a rugby house. Even I've got my niece into it. She's now at county level, and she's hopefully waiting for an offer from Brunel to go there. So we all play rugby. And when it comes to the thing with rugby, I've got no aspirations for my kids to go pro or anything like that. It's the mentality. Because I've never been anywhere and not got on with the rugby player I've just met. I like you instantly more now than I did 30 seconds ago. Because I was like, you guys get the mentality. And it's Flaming Arseholes is a wonderful game. Depending on who's playing it. And Flaming Arsehole is a game, it's a drinking game in essence, where you take a length of toilet paper, you attach one end into someone's arsehole, and then you roll it down till it touches the floor. They're then given a pint. My preferred pint is I would use something like an ale, something that's flat, easy to down. Guinness can be a bit too thick. Ale, or depending on what club you're in, it might be a pint of piss. We don't know.
Who knows? Who knows?
In fact, I remember someone asked me about, they were talking, they weren't rugby players, but they were having dumb boy conversations saying, would you drink a pint of piss? And they're like, yeah, I would do it. And I wasn't even thinking. I was like, if you are going to do it towards the end of the night when because you're quite hydrated at that point, and it's not going to be as potent as you think. And then if you've got a handful of ice, put that in there, and you'll be. They're like, what? I was like, oh, nothing.
Mate, nothing.
I was like, I don't know. I've never done that. What are you talking about, you weirdo? Where you take the toilet paper from the arsehole down to the ground, set fire to the toilet paper, and the player or victim, depending on what you want to call it, is not allowed to take it out until they finish their pint. That is the fun game. One of many.
I remember I saw the clip of what show was it on?
That was on Mel Godrick's yes. Unforgivable.
They were the most shocked I think I've ever seen human beings. Like,
so when we had the call, because you have a prep call for that, and they said to me, right, so Emmanuel, what we need is, the theme of the show. What we're looking for is the most unforgivable stories. I was like, I've got loads. They're like, they need to be legal. So I've got 6. I've got 6 that I can tell you. And when I told them that one among many, even then the look on their faces, like,
well, I mean, you in that you did say that you make it slightly more difficult for the player victim, because you don't just leave. Well, explain.
Well, sometimes the voices in my head win, and I think the first time I did it is because we're quite nice. We do it on a chair.
Yeah.
So you've got that extra couple of foot. But I thought, that's too easy. So what I would do is the moment they turn their back around, I'd rip half of it off. So they would just think, because that toilet paper goes up quick.
Yeah.
Really
again,
fast.
I've never seen this. No idea.
No. I've never done it. Even that, it's just the stuff that rugby players do that we think is normal.
It's weird. It is like when you break it down, it is weird.
When you do it on paper,
we need to accept it.
It's very, very weird.
But it is very funny.
But it's what I find funny is that for us, it's just I've started doing material on it because it's completely normal behaviour.
So my first 15 match for the club I was at, went in and this prop, who shall remain unnamed, loosehead prop, Wiggy, I used to have long hair. He's like, Wiggy, look, I was, again, just finished first ever match, loved it. He pissed into his hand and went, piss grenade, and just lobbed it at me. Pissed into his hand, piss grenade, and I was like, hey, what the fuck?
That's hilarious.
What have I come to?
Yeah.
17.
Again, that's hilarious. And the rule is as well in our club, if you call it, you can't be angry. So the fact that he called piss grenade first, I'm like, that's your own fault for not moving. That is completely your fault.
Well, I mean, anybody that listens to this that played at the same club will know who this person was because he was always doing stuff like that. How old were you when you started rugby?
Oh, I started at school.
As in primary, secondary?
Secondary school. We started at secondary school. We used to have our rugby teacher, our rugby coach, was this big Welsh prop who basically got us into rugby, I think, to support his drinking, because we only ever played teams that had a bar. Like, we were, 14, playing Sarries amateurs, and got destroyed 88-0. I will never... It was pointless us being there, but they had a bar, and he used to get us jugs of shandy. Just so he's the only guy I've ever seen fall down a flight of stairs holding a full pint and then land with a full pint. And we were like, that's impressive.
I mean, that is very impressive.
He's nailed that. Yeah. And so we started then, but then I think I started playing club rugby when I was maybe 19, 20. Yeah.
And where was that?
So that was in North London for a club called Ultatonians. Right. And started playing there because I used to play basketball, and I played basketball to a decent level, but basketball is non-contact, which can be the most frustrating thing, especially if you've had a bad week. Like, whereas rugby, you get 80 minutes to take out that frustration of your week.
You played second row, right?
I played second row, then I played front row.
Right, okay.
And I only learned to play front row because we were playing a team that I really didn't like, and our prop went down. So the ref was like, well, we've got to go uncontested. And I thought, I'm not going uncontested against these lot. So I was like, I'll go front row. And I went loose-head, and I was like, I love this position.
Yeah?
Yeah. I love playing loose-head.
How big were you then?
Same sort of size.
Same sort of size.
Same sort of size. Yeah. But I could get low. Right. That's it. So I had a bit of flexibility in me, so I could get low. Yeah. And even though I played recently for an old club of mine, and
who was that?
This was for Cuffley. So after Old Tots, they folded as a club as the years went on. A few of us went over. It
sadly happened, grassroots rugby.
It is really sad.
It's not having the best time. Maybe it's the piss stuff. Maybe it's the flaming toilet roll. Who knows?
You've got to have the players coming through, and it's really sad when that happens. Because in my mind, I'm still an Old Tot. I've still got my club tie. Like that will never change.
I went to a kind of a club get together the other week, and back a few months ago, and literally people I haven't seen for 15 years. And it just feels exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you remember the moments.
You really do. And so when I went over to play at Cuffley, I played for Cuffley for quite a few seasons. Like, lovely bunch of boys there as well. It was another club you go, this feels very much like home. Yeah. And so I still go down whenever I get the chance to, which is not as much as I'd like.
And where's Cuffley like?
Cuffley's, it's sort of where North London meets Hertfordshire.
Right, okay.
And we played this. I went to play a game with them, and where I've been coaching my son's team. When you start coaching, you look at the game very, very differently. I've got to this Cuffley game, and I only played one half, and their tight head prop, he was 25, 26, bit cocky. I haven't played for a couple of years, so I thought I'll take this scrum easy. Let me just see if my back's going to snap.
This?
This was a couple of months ago.
Really? So I mean, you're born 1980, right? So 44, 45?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're still doing
44. Fuck.
All right.
This interview's over.
Right, 44.
Yeah, so I've gone to the scrum, and they've won this scrum. I weren't really pushing. I thought, let me see if my back's going to hold out on this. And he got really cocky about it.
Right.
I was like, I'll tell you now, mate, this is the last scrum you'll win today. And I just bullied him for the rest of the 40 minutes. But what I really enjoyed doing is... because if you trash talk, you're just going to get someone annoyed, but you can get in trouble for that. Like, the referee go, this is your fault now. Yeah. So what I really enjoyed doing is I'll coach them, which is even more annoying.
Tell them what to do.
Yeah, I'd literally push them off the ball and go, mate, you really tried then. That was...
well done.
Yeah, no, you've got to get lower. You're not getting low enough. Like, I'm really strong. You're going to have to get lower than that. And then I just run off. And then the next one's like, remember what I told you on the last one, get lower. And then he'd do it, and I'd still push him off, go, a bit better. Not there yet. Yeah. You got to go drive forward. You got to drive
6 out of 10.
Yeah, you get in there, and for the whole game, and he used to get so annoyed. But the referee's laughing now because I was like, "Sir, I'm trying to help. I want this to be a fair game." so much fun doing that.
You were born, well, one of six.
One of six,
One of six, 5 sisters.
5 sisters.
What's the age gap? So the oldest is how much older?
My eldest sister's 16 years older than me. Okay. And then it's sort of every year and a half, 2 years down from there to me.
Yeah. How was that?
Oh, do you know what? I'm only realising now that we all had a very different childhood. And I think it's the
You mean the 5 of them and you, or each?
All of us. And I only realise it now with my youngest, when he turned 1 and my niece was 17 going on. Yeah. And I realised at that point, I was like, that's the age difference between me and my elder sister. And I was like, his childhood is going to be vastly different to her childhood.
5 years ago was different, let alone 16.
Yeah.
In terms of society, technology, everything.
Yeah, because you don't realise when you're a kid. You just think you're all in the same boat. But you're not. You've all had... The way that I describe it is... I've got 3 kids, and all my 3 kids have different parents. Same parents, but different people.
You've learned along the way.
Yeah, my first kid, his parents didn't know what he was doing. Yeah. Sorry, that dad had no clue. Yeah. So he was like... Literally, he'd blink too hard and we're like, we've got to go to the hospital. I think he's dying. Yeah. Whereas the middle one... Then you go too far the other way, and you're like, "Oh, Chloe fell down the stairs."
It's broken, is it?
Literally, you'd hear someone fall. I remember hearing one of them fall down the stairs, and just listening out, going, "Oh, there's no cry, they're fine." Because you just wait for that few seconds, and then you hear them get up. Yeah. And then the third one, you sort of get that sort of right now. You found the middle ground of what you're meant to do.
So I've got 4. I've got an almost 19-year-old. Yeah. Started very young. We were 18. 19 almost. 14, 7, almost 8, and a 1-year-old. But it is you get to that point. I think now you've said that, I think about my third, and I think she's probably just the most chilled out of the lot. Yeah. She's just because you've done it again. When you're 18, 19, you throw yourself into parenting. You think I've got to be the best I can be. Everything has to be absolutely perfect because everybody's expecting me to fail. Yeah. Everybody's expecting us to do this badly. Yeah. So I'm going to try the best I can. A few years later, second one comes along, and as you rightly said, fewer photos, fewer,
Isn't that weird, our motivation behind being a good parent?
Yeah. It's like, I did do good things.
Yeah. It's like, I remember, my thing was, I will not be my dad. I wanted my son to have the relationship with me that I wanted with my dad.
What was that relationship?
Non-existent.
So, is he the same father? Like you all?
All the same mum and dad. And but with my dad, I think I reckon he was there on and off because he'd go back and forth from Nigeria to do business or whatever he did, and he was on and off for so maybe I was like 8 or 9, and then I didn't see him for maybe 20 years till just before he died when I was like 28, 29. So there was nothing. I've literally got like 8 memories.
Was he with you before you were born? Like, was he always at the house or?
No, so they did back and forth. So if I go from the top, my eldest sister. So my parents came from Nigeria to the UK and had my eldest sister. They went back and they had 3 more. Then they came back and had me and my older sister Anne. Right. So they were always back and forth anyway. And then as kids, we were back and forth. And then, there's this massive chunk where he just wasn't there. Right. And it wasn't through sort of lack of trying to have contact, nothing, just was not there.
When you saw him when you were 28, did you have that conversation with him?
No, I was far too angry. Like, I broke at that point because during that time, the only way that I could sort of rationalise him not being there was think of him as being dead. Right. So I'd already mourned him. Because it was easier for me to go, he's dead, than he doesn't want to be here with me. Because I look at my kids now, and I remember when Noah couldn't have been that old, and I had this day when I got really, really fucking angry. Because I was like, I can't imagine not being, like, here. Yeah. Like, that made no sense to me. There's nowhere, even now when I go to do a tour, or like I was in Australia for a month, and being away just for a month.
It's hard, isn't it?
That after the first week's lovely.
The first week's great, man.
Yeah. No one's poking me in the eye. Yeah. It's wonderful. Yeah. But after that, you just want to be. I just want to be with them.
So yeah, I was always exactly as you. I was like, I want to do the best I can do by my kids, and
it was one of the reasons I came off the door.
Right, why?
So loads of stuff happened, and like just with my kids. So there was this one night where this guy, it was one of those unnecessary dumb fights. It was so stupid and pointless. It all started with this lady who was drunk. She'd been out for a cigarette and wanted to come back in. And this is the days where we used to give people smoking passes, just so, because obviously now you can't smoke inside, and to stop people just walking in and going, "Oh, I've been smoking." She couldn't find her pass, and I was like, "Well, you need your pass to come back in." She was like, "I can't find it," and literally like, "Have you looked in your bag?" She went, "Oh." Looked in the bag, there's a smoking pass. She got in. That was the extent of the drama that caused this fight. And then towards the end of the night, I'm talking about 5 minutes before the night's about to end, this dude comes downstairs and he's quite drunk, and he's like, apparently he was just this ex-squaddy, quite drunk, and he's now arguing with the receptionist lady about something. We're at the front, we can't hear him. So we look in, they're arguing, so we've gone over, and he's arguing about the fact that they wouldn't let his girlfriend back in.
Right.
And we're like, she's in, like, that's her next to you. And he's there arguing. I was like, dude, she got in, I don't know what you're arguing
so
about.
So in his mind, that 30 seconds was like, what, 30 minutes?
Yeah,
right.
And we're like, dude, it's the end of the night. I was like, we're closing in 3 minutes. Like, let's just call it a night, go home. And he did. And I thought, this is nice and easy. So literally, we didn't even throw him out. We walked out with him. He's walked out, she's walked out. And then we've literally, because he was quite drunk, we've then put him on the wall. We've gone back in. As I've gone back in, he's picked up this metal pole and just come back and smacked me around the back of the head with it. And literally, it was generally like you get hit, you don't know what it is, and you just what the fuck was that? Weird, and then he's done it again as I've turned round. And then he's gone to swing it again. As a pure reaction, I turned and punched him. Like, I just threw a punch and I caught him clean. And it wasn't it wasn't even hard. It was just clean. And it cracked his eye socket. It broke his nose.
Bloody Kimbo Slice.
He was, mate. The dude was out cold before he hit the floor. And even now, I'm the sort of nursing my wounds, and we propped him up. No, lucky enough, I was, and a nice big lump, but I wasn't cut. And then we sort of like propped him up. His girlfriend's been like quite hysterical. We're like you've seen what he's done. So we propped him up, got them a taxi home. Didn't think anything of it. The next week, police van turns up, 3 of them get out, and I get arrested. Yeah. And it was for GBH Section 18, which is 1 under attempted murder. Yeah. And I'm looking at that thinking, like, I could be looking at 7 years. 7 years for this, for no reason. I spoke to a friend of mine who was an officer, and I told him exactly what happened. I was like, what? He goes, just tell them, like, exactly what's happened, because what you've done, that's reasonable force. You haven't tried to do that. And he was like, have you got it on camera? I was like, yeah, it's on camera. And the police in that area actually never came to pick up the CCTV. Because at that point, we were the only club that had a late license, and they didn't want us to have a late license. So the easiest way to revoke that is if one of the bouncers there has been convicted of a violent crime. So it was like they went out of their way to not come and get the evidence they needed. And when they literally sat me down, and they showed me the pictures of this dude's eye. And they were like, so what do you think of that? And it took all of my energy to not be like, it's a decent punch.
Well done. Yeah, I did all right there.
Oh, yeah. That's one hit, that is. They were like, that's pretty graphic. And that's the thing, it's like when you've been a bouncer, like you see so much actual graphic stuff. I'm thinking, you become desensitized to it. And that was another thing. I was like, you shouldn't be desensitized to that level of violence. Yeah. So I didn't like that it didn't bother me.
How old were you now?
Oh, God, I would have been 33.
Right, okay. Yeah.
33, yeah, so not 33, 34. So my son was just born.
Yeah.
And it was that feeling of, if I get sent down, I'm going to miss 7 years of his life. And every now and again, over the years, I'd see him do something, I could have missed that. Little things like that. And the thing that because this would have gone to court, but I knew the CPS was going to throw this out because they they lied.
Were you not able to present the evidence?
I didn't need to. They lied so much on their statement that I was like, I said to the officer, I was like, this will go nowhere. Because he made the mistake of telling me what they've said. Because I told him exactly what happened, and he was like, well, this guy said that you've dragged him down a flight of stairs, thrown him through a set of doors, beat him with a railing as well, and basically kicked the shit out of him. I was like, well, if that was the case, he'd have more than just a black eye, wouldn't he? So I was like, why is there no bruising on his ribs? Why is there nothing there? And they both like didn't have anything to say back to that. I was like, I'm done asking questions. Just take me back to my cell until you're ready to let me go. Because I knew they were. And it turns out his girlfriend was a barrister, so it was like, go in, say, which was dumb on her part.
Very dumb. Yeah.
Because if you'd have just gone, it could have been my word against his. Because especially without the CCTV footage. But I looked at that situation, I thought, what am I doing? This just really isn't worth it. And then the club got sold to this new dude, and the clientele he used to bring in, every week I was like, why am I here? And then he sat us all down, and this was the night I walked off. This guy sat us down, and he goes, right, guys, I'm not racist, which is how every
racist starts with that sentence.
If you're not racist, that is how you start a sentence, isn't it? He'd go, I'm not racist, guys.
Not being a
racist.
dick, but...
I mean, yeah, I'm not racist. I've got loads of black friends. I've run lots of R&B clubs, I've run hip hop nights, but for this club, what I'd like from now on is not too many blacks, not too many Asians, not too many Greeks. I want to keep it quite Essex. If you know what I'm saying, we're like.
We know what you're saying.
We know what you're saying. Because no, I'm not racist. Like I've got black friends. You know what I mean? And he went on with it because so I want to not too many Asians, just keep it quite local. And at that point, I was like, right, do you know what, boys? I'm done. And I just walked out. I was like, I'm going home. And literally, all of us just got up and left.
That's the last shift you ever worked.
That's the last shift I ever worked.
It's funny because again, I can't speak for bouncers. Again, knowing many. It always seems when their career comes to an end, like it's because they really don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody just goes, do you know what, I'm going to jump into something else. It's like, I just don't want to do that anymore. You know, I've done that for this long, I'm done.
Because it was much easier back in the day. Before licensing, it was easier. Because people, and it's a funny thing about fear/respect. People, when I was a kid, you would not fight in a club or a pub. Because two things will happen. One, you're going to have to fight the door team, which none of you want to do, because you're going to lose. Because bouncers can't lose. You can't be seen to lose. You'll lose the club. So it's not going to be a fair fight. You're going to lose. Or if me and you were in a pub and we're having an argument, and it might be all of my mates and all of your mates, these bouncers will go, right, you two, you can go outside and fight. One of you's come back in. So you're either going to have to actually have a fight or have a fight with a group of people. Yeah. And it was just not worth the risk. So it would be like, and that's the thing. Even if you did it back then, if me and you had a fight back then, we'd probably be good friends now. Yeah. Because it was done. After that, you had a fight.
Again, back to the rugby, right? Back to the rugby. How many times have you had a bit of a
Some of my best friends, we have kicked the shit out of each other on a rugby field. Yeah. And it's my mate Phil, I was groomsman at his wedding. We met because he's a twin, and I punched him in the face thinking he was his brother on a rugby field. Like it kicked off. We were like rival clubs, and I'd kicked off with their dad, and then he came running over, and then I got hit, and I didn't know he was a twin, so I saw the other one, so I've hit that one, and then it just it was comedy. And literally, it got so bad, the referee just went, that game's over, and walked off. And all of us are on the field, like, watching this referee walk off, sort of, like, should we go and get a drink?
Yeah,
like, yeah,
probably
fuck it.
Right. Yeah.
And we had the greatest drink up in the pub afterwards. And, like, we've been friends ever since. But that doesn't happen. It's never just over. It's the mentality of now they're going to come back with their friends. And all these things, I thought, it's just not worth it.
Oh, it doesn't end there. It always escalates. It always keeps coming back, and it's just...
It's like, you've got too much, not even to lose, too much to risk. Like, they know where you work. They could come back at any time.
They know who you are. They know roughly where you're going to live. You know, again, you've got kids. They're going to see you out with your missus shopping, are they? And, you know, yeah, exactly.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah. Well, that makes perfect sense. I mean, what was your mum like?
And
is your mum still around?
Yeah, she's still around. my mum's awesome. Like, she's my favourite person, to be fair. She'd just come back from the States. I went to pick her up yesterday. And she's, even now, she's what, 83? 80 to 83. She still gives me comedy. She's got to that age.
Is she funny?
Yeah. But doesn't mean to be.
Right.
She's got to that age where it's like she's being sarcastic and taking the piss, even though, like, she's just, like, clueless to what's going on. Do you know that whole thing of trying to teach your parents new technology? I tried to pick my mum up from the airport, and even that was the challenge. I literally got to the airport yesterday morning, phoned my mum. I was like, all right, mum, where are you? Heathrow Terminal 3. Yeah, I know that, mum. Like, that's why I'm here. I'm here. Remember, I'm picking you up. She said, yeah, where are you? I was like, I'm here. I was like, where are you? She was like, oh, we're off the plane now. So yeah, I know. That's why I'm here. Yeah. I was like, mum, where are you? At arrivals. Yes, mum. Yeah, I know. I get it. Look, I know how this works. Like, I've been on planes. You're at arrivals at Heathrow Terminal 3. Have you spoken to your sister today? It's like, we could get to that. We'll do all that. We'll do all that in a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for picking me up. How are you? Yeah, this is all stuff we can do in the car. Yeah. Where are you? I'm just sat down by the ATM. I was like, which one? Like, do you know?
I'm just on the chair.
Literally, she was like, do you know the newsagent? No, I don't. Like, I was like, right, what can you see around you? She said, I can't see you. I know. I was like, right, Mum, let me look for you. What are you wearing? A dress. Thanks, Mum. She was like, can you see Marks and Spencer? Yes. Oh, me too. I'm going to walk to Marks Spencer's and just have a look around. And I got there. She was in a bright yellow dress as well. I was like,
so she could have been.
You literally, that was the easiest thing to actually point out. But this conversation took so long. I was like, you know how much money you've cost me in parking from this conversation?
Yeah. It's like,
this could have been free.
Yeah. Could have been within 20 minutes or whatever. But
she's done well. It was.
Did she work then during?
Yeah. What did she do? Oh, she's had loads of jobs. She was a care nurse. She was a nurse, then a care nurse. It's so funny to see because Nigerian women don't age. It was hilarious for me to see my mum looking after people in a care home younger than her.
Right. Yeah, I bet.
Oh, she's healthy despite she's been through colon cancer, heart attack, still going, still going very, very strong, and it's she did. I look back and I think there was never any time I didn't have anything I needed.
Yeah.
We might not always got what you know. It's like in a family with a lot of kids. You might not get what you always want,
especially when there's 6 of you, right?
When there's a load of you like that, but you always get what you.
You still weren't getting hand-me-downs, or were you?
Yeah, but I had 5 sisters, so they were much worse than yours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I say stuff to my kids now because the nice thing, and again, you'll get this with you want your kids to have more privileges or a better experience than you have. We're always trying to level it up. And I used to say I want my kids to grow up with none of the scars that I did. And now I see them now and I'm like, maybe just a couple.
Just a few, right? Because
just a couple of scars.
So my son's seeing Kendrick Lamar on Saturday.
See, what?
Right? Now, his mum's taking him for his birthday. Now, I spoke to him a couple of days ago and I said, all right, mate, I forgot that he was doing that. Because some life things have happened recently that have kind of taken my mind off things. Yeah. But I said, oh, mate, I'll see you on Saturday then. You know, we're going to do this. He was like, yeah, all right. Yeah, right. He'd clearly forgotten himself that he's going to Kendrick Lamar. I'm like, that's Noah as well. He's 14. I'm like, mate, how is that not the biggest thing that's happening in your life? How is that like?
And it's just so blasé.
It's just like, I'm going to see it. I just think, we try and give them so much. And then sometimes, I took my daughter skydiving for her 16th birthday. Right? She'd always dreamt of skydiving. I did it. She came when I was like 20. She came, she watched it. She went, when I'm 16, I want to do that. I did it. Got into the car right afterwards, and I was like, oh my God, that was me. Dad, don't talk to me. I've got a headache. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're just driving home then. And sometimes I just wonder, have I done this wrong? I don't know how you grew up. We didn't grow up. There wasn't much money. Again, there are 5 of you, right?
No, and the stuff that we thought was awesome.
Yeah.
Literally, even on the smaller scale, my son was ill a couple of years ago, And I thought I'd pop down the road. I was going to go shop anyway. I said, mate, I'm going to go to the shop. Do you want a snack? A little treat. He went, Daddy, can you get me some pomegranate seeds? I thought, what the fuck is a pomegranate?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
Mate.
Stuff like that. I'm like, who are you? Yeah. No, you go to a chocolate bar. You weirdo. Yeah. And it's the recent one, and it's annoyed me because it's her perception versus what's the reality. So, my little girl, a little while ago, she went, Daddy, I'm bored of this house. Can we get a new one?
Yeah, you just get a new one.
I was like, what? I'm bored of this house. Can we get another one now? Can we live somewhere else? I was like, and the annoying thing is, we have actually moved.
Right.
But we've moved because the landlord had changed on the terms. I was like, I'm not having it anymore. So we've moved. But she doesn't know that. So all she knows is she went, Daddy, can we get a new house? And Daddy went, yeah, let's get a new house. So now she's got a new bedroom that she loves. And she thinks it's because she wanted a new house. So she got a new house.
Bless you. And you've got a really young one as well, haven't you? You've got a 1 year old?
He's going to be 2 in November.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So you've done it 3?
Yeah. I was done at 2, mate.
Yeah, mate. Same.
I was done at 2.
And then life happens.
Yeah. And that's now, now I'm done at 3.
Yeah. 100%?
Yes.
You off to...
Mate, not just the vasectomy. If I could, I'd cut the whole fucking thing off. Just leave me smooth like a Ken doll is what I'd like. Just no trouble.
Keep it simple.
Yes. Yeah. It's just no. I'm really done. It's a lot.
It's a lot, and plus you travel an awful lot. As you said, you got this big tour coming up. That's going to be.
So I commute the tour. I don't stay away.
Do you really every day?
Most days,
wow.
and unless it's anything that takes me more than 3 hours, 3.5 to drive, I will. That's when I'll stay. Otherwise, I'll commute because I don't want to miss the school run. And so my kids don't know that I'm away as much as I am, because a lot of the stuff will happen when they're...
Isn't it funny? So like when they're sleeping, you're there performing to loads of people, and then they wake up and you're there doing breakfast.
Yeah,
what a wonderful thing.
And that's the fun thing. They don't care what I do. Like, it's quite embarrassing for them, in fact. And my son gave me really... He doesn't realise a compliment, but it very much was. There was an advert on Comedy Central that I was on. And I was like, no, look, I'm on TV. And he looked over and, Daddy, you're always on TV. And then just carried on. I'm like, well, thank you, mate.
Cheers, sir.
Thank you. That's very kind of you to say.
I mean, you are. You've done an awful lot. It's a long way from that first open mic night.
Yes.
Which was, how old were you then?
My first open mic night. It was 2015, so this is 10 years from my first open mic night.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
So you just finished bouncing.
I was still bouncing.
I was still bouncing
at the time. I literally, that's when I would take nights off, then to go and do clubs. But it was when I first did that, like that first year. If I did a gig once a month, that was a lot. Right. It was very. Is that
just because of the nerves? Because of the.
It was just. I was working full time. I just had the baby, working full time, still at the club. You could just take like nights off to go. Like, it's like with a newborn. I wasn't going to be out 5 nights a week doing comedy. Yeah. And also, because I grew up doing musical theatre, I already knew how to be on stage. Yeah. So a lot of comics at the beginning, they need that stage time.
I've read a few things of yours where you're like, look, I've not had a bad gig yet. Is that still the case?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well done. For a
so
start.
There's 2 things. One, I've had gigs that I weren't happy with.
Yeah, but that's very different because that's going to be a personal, perfection thing, right?
And then, but I've thought of the reasoning behind it because it's going to happen at some point. Yeah. And it actually keeps me quite sharp because in every gig, in the back of my mind, I'm going, is this the one where I'm going to die?
I heard a story, your agent Brett, before you went on to Live at the Apollo.
Yeah.
So what was that?
Brett and I used to have this ongoing... Because Brett used to try and make me go to gigs that I'd die at.
Right, okay. Intentionally.
Yeah.
So
he was like, you've got to know what it feels like. You've got to know what it feels like. Yeah. So you have to have that experience. So he would send me to gigs that were notoriously hard for new acts. Okay. One of them, he sent me to Belfast, to a club called The Empire. Brilliant comedy club. I'm going there to do a middle 20. At this point, I just about had 20 minutes. It was really 15, but I used to talk slowly.
Yeah.
I get there confident that I've got my this 20 sorted. And it was at the point where you go, I've now got what you consider to be a bulletproof 20, works everywhere. I get there, the stage manager is going through the lineup. He's going, right, you're opening, you're in the middle, and Emmanuel, you're closing doing 40 minute. I was like, sorry, what now? Yeah, you're closing, you're doing 40 minutes. I'm thinking, no, I'm not. Yeah. I thought I'm not going to say anything now, just in case. This is my first time here. I phoned up Brett, and I was like, mate, they've just told me that I'm closing and I'm doing 40 minutes. And Brett just went, put the phone down. And I was like, you absolute fucker. Yeah. And then after the gig, phoned him up. He went, how was it? I was like, oh yeah, took the roof off the place, mate. It was awesome. He was like, for fuck's sake, he spoke to the manager. And because it's one of those now, because all of a sudden, it's that feeling where you go, I've got no choice now. Yeah. You got to do it. Yeah. It's that picking up the rugby ball.
I was just about to say, it's that sport, right? It's that, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I'm in it, so I have to do.
You've got to do it now. Yeah. So all the material that I had that was just ideas, I was like, well, if they're going to work, they're going to work. Let's try them. And I learned a lot about my timing and my pace because I slowed that down. I put more crowd work into it, and it became like the theatre came out of me. It became much more of a show. Yeah. And so after that, we used to joke saying, imagine if I never have a bad gig and then we get to Live at the Apollo and that's the bad gig. I was like, imagine that. That'd be horrible. Let me stop talking about it. We're at Live at the Apollo now. Nerves are already kicking off. I'm getting ready to go on.
Biggest gig you've done so far, or
no? I've done. It was my biggest gig.
Biggest gig in terms of TV and
Oh yes, yeah. And so we're at Live at the Apollo. You think the goal, and just before I'm ready to go on, Brett went. Remember that time we used to talk about being at Live at the Apollo and this will be your first bad gig? Have a good one, mate. Welcome to the stage, Emmanuel Sonubi. I was like, so if you look at my face when I walk up, there is fear in my eyes.
Well, I did watch it, and for the first 45 seconds, minute,
yeah,
you don't speak, do you? Because everyone
I didn't think they were going to keep that in.
Oh, they did though, didn't they?
They kept that in.
I liked it. It felt like you won the. How do you win a crowd?
I didn't just do anything.
That. Do you know what I mean? You walked in, but I guess it's like an affability. Is it like?
It was for one. I'd say there's not a lot of comics that look like me.
That's true. Yeah.
And the first time this happened, I walked out. I mean, I wear skinny jeans for a reason on stage half the time. Like they're my wonder bra. And I remember the first time this really happened, I was at the Manchester Comedy Store, and I think there was like 3 or 4 hen parties in. And I walked out, and they must have thought this was about to be Magic Mike because they lost their mind before I said anything. And then it just kept happening. Yeah. And I walked out to Live, and we've discussed it beforehand. I was like, right, the plan is we'll walk out and I want to go straight into material because we haven't got that long, and it's probably not going to be the same as it is in the clubs. And I walked out and literally one lady just went, woo! And then it just spread around the entire room. And because that's the thing, like you look at my eyes, when I walk out, the fear in my eyes, because I thought this is going to be the bad gig. Then the moment that lady did that and it spread, it felt like being in a comedy club again. But it gave me that 30 seconds to really sort of compose myself and then start the show. Yeah. So it was really fun.
Talking about the tight jeans, so you've always trained, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you get into the gym?
Oh, so I mean, we trained as kids. We didn't know anything, but we just lifted heavy things.
Yeah, and you do a certain number of those until you go on to something else.
Yeah. We didn't know anything. I'm like, if we had the level of education there is around training back then that we have now, oh mate, I think I'd dread to see the difference it make. I think it'd be amazing. We didn't know about nutrition. Sandwiches were healthy back then.
It's you've eaten, right?
Yeah, eat all your crust. The sandwiches were healthy.
The first sessions I went as soon as I could, 14. I was straight in the gym, and the only thing that I could see, cause I went to a gym that was kind of when they say spit and sawdust, this is really I loved it, but there's cobwebs everywhere. You know, that machine hasn't worked for 3 years. That machine's not worked for 10. And there was a shoulder press right in the corner. and I just used to go on the shoulder press because it was the easiest thing. It's up and down, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you can just watch, and everybody like, it's very... Everybody in there's enhanced, so to speak, and just monsters walking around, like literally, like one of them arms like plates, and you're like, right, well, I'm going to keep coming, keep watching, and one of them, bless them, just came up to me and he went, right, you keep coming back, but you keep doing the shoulder press. Like, yes, 'cause it's the only thing I know how to do. He went, come on then, and literally from then, kind of took me under his wing a little bit, showed me some stuff. And that's the beauty of, like, for me, I wanted to be big for rugby. So, I was like, well, I'm going to make it, and this is how I make it, just by doing shoulders, apparently. But, then you get kind of wrapped up in it, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's how I love to start my day in the gym. I'm like, if I can focus there, I can focus everywhere. Like, when we were kids, our school gym had a bench press, a squat rack, a leg extension machine, and a multi-gym.
I mean, the leg extension's unique for that. Yeah.
And it was one of those old school plated ones as well.
Yeah, nice.
And that's all we had. And then I think I trained at Lloyd's for a while, David Lloyd's, because I worked there behind the bar. I was like 18, so they gave us a free membership. And but even then, no educator, just lift heavy things. And also, I mean, the thing that I do, that I've learnt from, I don't really call them regrets, so don't believe in those, was I never used to do really any pull exercises. So it was all push and legs. And I think a lot of people do that. You get to do...
You forget that your back's an incredibly big part of your body, right? And also, if you've got a great back, you're going to look better in a shirt.
Yes.
All of these. So
I've now I do so much more pull than anything else. And I think you're training, it's like you're training upgrade, your training knowledge will upgrade with every injury.
Yeah. Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah. Right, every time you hurt, you go, okay, I'm not going to do that again. And then you're the type of training you do changes, and then like cracking shoulders. If you think rugby injuries as well, I've cracked both my shoulders. My knees are fucked. Like now,
it's a bloody stupid game, mate.
Now, I tell now, my skinny jeans are more about scaffolding than anything else, so just to stop me
Keeps
falling
it all
over.
in.
Yeah.
Nice. No, I mean, I've had all jaw operation, both sides, thumb, knee. So I'm 37 now, and I think I can still do it. I played football. I played football last week, thinking I'm just trying to move more. Just trying to because fitness is one of those things. I'll always do it. I'll always love it. But sometimes in your life, you'll have a couple of weeks where you're like, oh God, maybe I'm not being as good as I can be.
Yeah.
So I'm like, right, I'm just going to keep moving. And I shot, quad popped. I'm like, is this just age? Is this just what's happening? I'm like, because I swear that wouldn't have happened before. And I'm a bit of a lump, so running around a football pitch, I'm like, in 30-degree heat. This was literally last week before, and I was like, boys, can we stop for water? Nah, we're all right. I'm like, no, you're all right.
we're stopping for water one way or another.
You're like 11 stone.
Yeah.
So you found gym, and you just always did it. Do you think that's what kind of led you to bouncing? Just being bigger?
What led me to bouncing was the friends around me and the need for money. It was the easiest thing.
And it's good money when you're young as well, right?
It's great money when you're young. It's like you think Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday potentially is probably the most you're gonna work. And I think even back then, so we're talking maybe £150 a night, 4 nights work. So you're earning decent money, and especially when you've grown up and you don't have money, and now you're being given cash, big fat envelope every week, plus people tipping you to come in and queue jump. Or like that's addictive. Plus, I'd be here anyway. It's my local bar. No, I'm not paying for drinks. I'm saving money. It was just everything like fell into place. And it's weird thinking I was the young bouncer when I started, and everyone was all the old boys that I used to look up to.
It quickly catches up to you. I mean, that happens in every, I guess, career, is you think, oh God, I'm so young.
Yeah.
Look at everybody, and then it's within a minute, it's like, that's not true.
I did a show it was a warm up show for my tour at my it was my local theatre in Enfield, and they've got the Dugdale Theatre. They've got it's kind of like a museum. They've just got things from different ages. One of the things they had in there, which broke my heart, which was now encased in glass, was a VHS player. I was like, how the fuck is that in a museum? Like, we used to... that's not that old.
Yeah, it is.
And I looked at these and I thought, wow, the 80s is the same difference to kids now to what, like, the 40s and 50s were to us.
Yeah, because when you think 20 years ago, you think 80s, 90s, right?
and it's not.
Nah, it's not in it. Yeah.
There's nowhere near it.
Yeah.
It's the worst. I was like, that's a museum piece now. Yeah. The thing that we really wanted is now the museum piece. And I'll try and explain to my kids. It's like,
and they like you've seen those videos, like TikTok type videos, like people trying to use them.
Yeah.
Like what, I can't remember the generation, but what was it, Gen Z? Below, younger than.
I don't know. We've got millennials, then it's Gen Z, and then is it Gen Alpha? So
they're all trying, like what the hell is this? How do I open this bit? No, you don't touch that bit.
Yeah.
Like, what does this do? Don't touch that either.
Don't do that. Leave it alone.
Yeah. How important has been big to you?
No, not at all.
No,
not anymore.
No,
It was. I'm now sort of trying to get a bit. Now I think of it more of how I feel.
Yes.
So I'm actually trying. I'm wanting to get leaner now. So
how much do you weigh now?
I'm 123 now.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And I'd like to get down to about 113.
Yeah.
That was quite a comfortable weight.
I don't know. I work in stone, so I'm like 18 and a bit now.
Right.
And I feel way more comfortable about 16. Like, I feel healthy.
Yes.
At 16 and a half-ish.
Yeah.
I know that I can do it. I know I will. But
that kind of sometimes makes me lazy as well, because I know I can do it. Like if we
I'll
get told,
do it. Yeah.
I did it. So last year was it? What, it's 2025. So this would be 2023 when I did the Apollo. When I hosted the Apollo, when I got told we were doing it, I was like, right, okay, I've got 8 weeks. I'll drop 15 kilos, and I did. Like
you did,
yeah, because nothing.
Because you know what to do. I know what to do. When to do it by. Yeah.
And you go, you could do this all the time.
Yeah, you could be lean as hell. You could be literally ripped as, but. It's how much does it matter to you, especially 3 kids.
There's other stuff as well that does take precedent, which is more important. So it's finding that balance of going. I'm not competing. Like so, even now I don't squat anymore.
Do you know?
I did a squat. I think it was in January, 240 kilos, and I got 3 reps out of it, nice and clean. And I looked round the gym and I thought, who the fuck was that for? No one cares.
It's for yourself. See that you can still do it, right?
I can still do it, but I was like, my first thing when I put it down, took my belt off, I was like, right, I'm not injured. I was like, what? I don't need the risk. So now I do, I still train legs, but I do a lot more strength and conditioning. So it's the hack squat, it's the pendulum squat. I'm doing much more sort of really restricted RDLs, Bulgarians. It's those stuff which pinpoints really intricate muscles. They hurt so much more.
It's so isolated, yeah.
But I don't get injured, which is my favourite thing.
Anything that stops you from driving, anything that stops you from getting up on a stage, makes it more difficult for you to get on stage.
So I sold my car because of a legs day.
Go on.
I used to have a convertible 3 Series BMW, modded to fuck. I've always found it weird that I didn't get pulled over more. I definitely looked like it was white. White. It was like a stormtrooper. It was white and black. So white, black skirts, silver and black rims, lowered.
3 Series or M3?
3 Series. So I had 3 Series M Sport, but like modded.
I've got a 4 Series M Sport.
Oh god! If you get BMW, only have an M Sport. It's pointless having I don't get why people don't just go straight to M Sport. But that one, I loved that car. But there was one day. It was the day after a leg session.
They're low, aren't they?
I couldn't get into my car. I was like, this is not going to work. So I put the roof down, fell into the car, put my legs in, and then put the roof back up. And this is in the winter, so my neighbours can see me doing this. And I was like, right, I'm selling this car. I'm never doing that again. That was so embarrassing. I was like, what are you doing? So I was like, get rid of that, get yourself an SUV and just be done.
Yeah.
So I can just climb into it
BMW
nicely.
as well?
No, I wanted the X5. But the X5, I made the mistake of test driving an X7, and now I can't have an X5. You can't. Have you been an X7?
No, I've not been an X7. No.
Oh my god! Yeah, don't, because you want it, and it's a lovely drive. But even that, like now, as you get sort of older, like cars, I've stopped caring now. I think because if I wasn't a comedian, I'd probably go back and have a Beamer. But I do so many miles that I end up running these cars into the ground because I'm just constantly on the road. So I was like comfortable, like. So here's what I boast about
room
now.
For the 3 kids, all of that stuff, right?
I actually rather they wouldn't be in my car because they are. Why are the kids so messy?
Mate, you look at the back of my car.
There's no food in my car. I don't allow it. because you just ruin stuff. And this is the stuff that I brag about now. Before, I used to walk up to my car, press a button, and the roof would open up, fold itself into the boot. So cool. Now, when I walk to my car when I'm shopping, the boot just opens up. Yeah. And I've got these rails in the back. I've got a Kodiak. It's got hooks on the back, so I can put my shopping on the hooks, and it doesn't fall over. Nice. This is what I brag about now.
Times have changed, right?
This is a real brag, and I guarantee you'll be anyone that drives.
Am I about to be impressed?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is my ultimate dad brag of my car. I drove 327 miles on half a tank. Yeah.
How?
Ask the manufacturers. What? And this is a mixture of motorway driving and some town driving as well.
Okay.
I was like, filled it up, and I was the most I've got before was 312, and I literally phoned up my mate Mark. I was like, dude, guess what's just happened? and when I told him, he was like, no.
Prove it.
He was like, no, you're lying. I was like, mate, I'm being serious. And I was like, wow, this is what we brag about now. And he was so impressed, and so was I. I felt so smug.
I'm trying to think of things that I brag about, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh, I can't. Yeah.
It's like, do you remember being a kid and you'd buy something stupid like a belt for £200, and you'd have it everywhere and say, well, oh, this belt, £200. You brag about how expensive it was.
Sadly, Emmanuel, because I had the kid at 18.
Oh, you never got to
never
do that.
did all of that stuff. Never. So I've never had that. And then what happens is you like again. Pushing towards 40s, I can't have that stuff now because it's sad as fuck.
Yeah,
so
now you don't want it.
Done it, yeah.
We used to brag about having expensive stuff because we couldn't afford it as kids. And then you go past that, and now I brag about how cheap something is.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that jacket, £4, charity shop.
You said that comedy's the first thing you felt that you were really good at.
Yeah.
Like, so you mean you've had a ton of jobs, right?
I've had a load of jobs.
The mobile phone salesman. Was that, you enjoy that?
I was, 15, 16. It was one of my first jobs.
I mean, that must have been, and sorry to age you, real early, like in terms of mobile phones.
Yeah, so that's when mobile phones did different things. Right. So this was, do you remember, it was the Link Dixon.
Right, yeah.
And we also
Dixon's doesn't even exist anymore, right? So, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. let's keep going. Old man chat, let's keep going.
Yeah, the Link, oh my God, it's gone. The Link Dixons, and we had all the different phones, all the different model providers, and this is back when you had to learn the different features, because some like when I first got a phone, you couldn't, there wasn't text to start. You couldn't call someone who was on a different network than you.
Yeah, that was true. Yeah. So
when cross network minutes came into play, that was a game changer. So I did that. I think a lot of the jobs that I've done have been around sales and people, which is why I think comedy mixed with theatre made it easy, because you understand people.
Yeah. So when you were doing IT, software, data, compliance,
yeah,
what was you were selling that?
It's still consultancy. So I'd go and have to meet, like, you'd have to call somebody to start the conversation off anyway, and then you'd be face-to-face meetings. You have to meet with vendors. It's all relationship building. So you think I did phone sales. 16, 18-ish, 19, I did door-to-door sales for a company called Granton, selling loyalty cards. And that was commission only. You didn't earn, you didn't eat. Very, very simple. I've done a few jobs around IT. I had a barbershop at one time.
As in your own business?
Yeah. And that was just before I got into comedy as well. What else have I done? I've had loads of jobs.
What ended up happening to that? Did you sell it?
I just got rid of it. It just wasn't. I opened up, because I found out we were expecting our first child when I'd been open for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is not the right time to start a business. So I literally just broke the business down and went and got a full-time job. Yeah. And that's when I quit dance and entertainment.
Right.
And then I thought I was done. So I hadn't even started comedy at this point. And then it was a friend of mine who got a comedy course for her birthday. And I went to watch their graduation of like 5 comics doing 5 minutes each, and basically got
what's her name? Let's shout her out.
Christina Canby. She was the one that was like, you should do this, and she literally just pestered me and was like, you should definitely, you could do this. You're funny.
Nice.
And I thought, you know what, I might actually give it a try. And that first open mic night I thought, yeah, she's right. I'm hilarious. I was like, no, I was like, this. It was the first thing I ever did that immediately made sense and just felt right. And like you know in your gut.
So that's how I feel with this.
Yeah.
I'm like passionate.
Yes.
Passionate. And in a way that running the company became about making money.
Yes.
Making money to pay the team.
Yes.
Making sure that people are happy. Making sure, and then you realize, make sure the kids are good. And everything.
Yeah.
And then again, 10.5 years and you realize that's not what purpose is. That's not what passion is. That's
Yeah.
not, so, fortunately, again, I had something that was of value. So
Yeah.
I'm like, and, again, life circumstances recently have kind of crystallized,
Yes.
that thinking of passion and purpose. And I mean, that's what you've done. You've gone from a life of a wage
Yeah.
to a life of uncertainty.
So I quit midway through the pandemic. 2019, I went through heart failure.
Yeah. How?
And
I wanted to get onto that.
That was a weird time.
Yeah. Is that when? And forgive me for asking. I think I heard you say that you got up to 155 kilos, right?
Yeah.
Was that around that time?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you feel at 155?
Horrid.
Yeah.
Sluggish, slow, everything hurt for no reason.
Yeah. Was that? Were you training still, or were you?
I was trying to, but you think training without is not just the gym. My lifestyle was terrible because at that point I was starting to get busy with comedy, where I was gigging every single weekend.
Garage, bloody meal deals, and all that stuff. Right?
Yeah, but then on top of the garage meal deals, it was the going out drinking every weekend because you've had a really good gig, you want to keep that feeling going. So there was all of that.
We've got such a weird relationship with alcohol here. It's like celebration, do it.
Yeah.
Commiseration, do it. It's
Like, Wednesday, fine.
Yeah. Does it end in a Y? Do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was just and it's like, especially with rugby players, if I'm going to drink, I'm going to get hammered.
See, that's my problem and my partner, Vic, she's always like, why can't you just have one glass of wine? I'm like,
why would I do that?
Why would I do that? I'm like, I don't want the calories. It's like, if I'm going to drink,
I'm going to get drunk. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah. Which, like, anybody listening to this has got a problem,
Yeah,
that bit's not. It's not good advice.
But it was, it got to, like, at that point when it happened, I'd sort of gone through it because the heart failure.
So set the scene. You're on stage in Dubai.
So the scene starts the week before. I started to feel really crap, and what was actually happening? Every time I lay down, I couldn't breathe properly. I didn't know why.
On your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I lay on my back, I couldn't breathe properly. Didn't realise because it's the organs crushing itself. So I actually went to A&E, which is men, and especially as rugby players, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you're fine. Just get up. You'll be all right.
You literally taught that from your kid, right? It's
Yeah.
like, mate, you're fine.
Yeah, up you get.
Magic sponge, get up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that I went to a hospital, I knew something was wrong. They did a load of tests, couldn't find a thing. ECG was normal, blood pressure normal. The only thing they could find was I had a throat infection. And again, they were like, you need to antibiotics, go and see a GP, get antibiotics. And I thought, I can't be fucked. It's just a throat infection, basically a cold, isn't it? You get over it, you'll be fine. Plus, I'm going to Dubai in a couple of days. Yeah. I'm not going to have time to get an appointment, and it just seemed very long-winded, so I thought, fuck it. I'll either deal with it when I get back, or I'll be fine when I get back. Flew to Dubai, and it got progressively worse. And I used to smoke, like, heavily.
Yeah, what's heavily?
30 to 40 a day. And in Dubai, when they're cheap, close to 40 a day. And in Dubai, where you can smoke everywhere, close to 40 a day. And it got to the point that it hurt to smoke. It was like inhaling glass. It was it was horrible. So I literally, for a couple of days, I was like, well, I didn't really smoke. And I thought, all right, well, I tried to find some antibiotics out there. Couldn't find any. Got myself an inhaler just to open up the airways so I could breathe a bit easier. Because I used to have asthma as a kid. Don't know why I started smoking. Fucking idiot.
Awful idea.
Terrible. Literally, first cigarette gave me an asthma attack. 15.
Let's do it again.
I'll be all right. I'll get over it. It's fine. And then while I was on stage, and this was the last night, all of a sudden, I literally just felt my heart just not do anything. And there was taken... I mean, when you take a deep breath, you don't realise that you're pumping oxygen around the body because it's autonomous. But I could literally feel that there was just no energy, nothing going through my body because the heart just stopped pumping oxygenated blood around the body, and it was just getting less and less and less and less and less. And I'm on stage, and in my mind I was like, right, this is the last joke anyway, so we can get...
So you're wrapping up anyway.
Finish the show. And I actually made the last joke better.
Why?
Because my timing was better.
Yeah.
So, because I was doing the...
Heart attack made me funnier.
Yeah, I was doing the bang and gym stuff.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And it was just I've just banged Jim at the end of it. And normally I should say it straight away, but because I couldn't breathe, I now took a massive breath just so I could get the words out. So that's why that gap exists there.
What was a poor bloke? Is that... Yeah.
It literally, because I'm trying to speak, because normally I'd go, I'm going to make you so wet, and I just bang Jim. Straight through it. And I realised we've just done that with no context in here. But it's fine.
Hey, listen, go and Google Bang Jim.
It was...
Emmanuel. You'll see.
So the line used to go straight through, I'm going to make you so wet, and I'll just bang Jim. Whereas in this one, I was like, I'm going to make you so wet, and I lost my breath. And I was like... And as soon as I said that, it got the laugh. I was like, it's fine, now I've got a second. I was like... And I've just banged Jim. And it got another laugh. So that paused there, I thought, it's pretty good, that one. But then off the stage, and they were like, and that's how I knew it was bad. They were going, do you want a beer? I was like, no, I just want to get back to the hotel. Got back to the hotel, and I couldn't lie down now. I could barely breathe. And I'd taken a load of painkillers, and I'd taken a load of antibiotics that were given to me. And going through this with the doctor, and he was like, I don't know why I'm laughing now, but going through this with the doctor, so that night as well, because I couldn't sleep, I was so tired, and there's something all guys do if we can't sleep and we're quite tired. It's like we have a private alone man time. So I did that, thinking that'll send me to sleep, because that's what it normally does. And literally, my heart went into overdrive on that one.
Oh Christ! You could have been what's that guy from Kill Bill?
Yeah.
Like that would have been you. That would have been the headline.
Yeah.
I
because the doctors, I told them everything. I was like, they need to know everything of what's been going on, because they literally ask you questions on everything. So sexual activity was another, and I was like, well, I did this. And when I told them that, and I told them that the drugs that I'd taken, like the antibiotics and the painkillers, so I took some really strong painkillers, and he was like, that could have killed you. And I just thought, I am not famous enough to die that way. That would have been so... And I just thought of my friends at the funeral going, wanker! Literally. I was like, I'm
himself
not...
to death.
I'm not... Because again, they'll go, that does sound like him, to be fair, doesn't it? And I was like, that is... The ways that I've nearly died are so embarrassing. Like, even after the heart failure, I was on so many blood thinners that my blood had just turned to water, because I had a stroke. I had a mini stroke when I came out of hospital. And I cut my thumb open on some cardboard. And because of the blood thinners, it just wouldn't stop. It was pissing blood. And I remember sitting there going, I've just gone through heart failure. I've just had a stroke. There's no way I'm dying from a fucking paper cut. I can't let my friends have that either. Because again, that's all they're talking about.
What's an acceptable, appropriate way to die for you?
I don't know. It needs to be heroic.
It's like really mad.
Yeah, it's got to be just heroic. Because if you think of your close friends, if they die in any other manner, then it needs to be
any of those ways. Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, you're gonna. That funeral is gonna be so much fun for you guys, because you're gonna take the piss out of them. It's got to be old age or something heroic. Old age,
pushing a load of kids out the way of a bus.
Yeah.
Hero saves 12.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But it is that. Otherwise, it's got to be old age. Yeah. But then coming out of all of that, and I was we're sort of in and out of work now, as in the office.
Well, before that, you spent 2 weeks in hospital, didn't you?
Yeah, 2.5 weeks.
So you went straight in when you got back to England.
I got back. I had to go to work.
You worked?
Yeah, I went back into. I was in the office because I was still working in IT at that point. I started to do some work from home, and the hard part was, I didn't look like someone who'd gone through heart failure. Right. So my stats weren't. My stats on paper weren't what you'd expect me to look like. Right. So when the heart failure
blood pressure was okay and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
So I had my heart function was 8%. Which is, we're talking heart transplant level. I should have been in a coma. I was sat talking like this. So when the heart failure nurse saw me, she didn't think that I was me from the chart.
I wonder if training helped that.
I reckon so. I mean, genetics definitely
hypertrophy
helped.
of the heart and
muscle memory from having asthma as a kid, so knowing how to relax yourself. So I didn't present like someone who'd just gone through heart failure. On the surface of it, I looked fine, which made my office question whether I was saying what I was saying was true. And I literally showed them doctor's reports. I was like, I don't know why I'm able to do this. And it got to the point where it got so sort of invasive in the office that I was like, I'm not enjoying this at all. And then it got to the point like we're in lockdown now and meant to be working from home. And I remember there was this one day I was meant to jump on a conference call and my little girl came up to me and she was like, Daddy, will you play with me? I was like, yeah, I will. And I just went and played. Literally, didn't even bother with the conference call, didn't tell anyone, because I was like, it does not matter. Like, I don't care. Yeah. And it was that sort of feeling, and I was like, do you know what? If I'm going to do this, I need to do this now. And I remember having a conversation with my boss, and I was like, I need to leave before you and I end up resenting each other, because that's what's going to happen, because I'm now not doing the job you're paying me to do either, and you're not giving the support that I needed in the first place. Yeah. So if we stop this now, you and I can walk away and be friends.
How was that transition financially? Because people talk about those moments where they make a big decision like that.
Yeah.
You got kids. You know, that's a hell of a thing to just go, do you know, I'm going to go and fulfill this dream of mine that could or could not work.
Yeah. I think you've got to look at stuff logically. So the way that I did it, for one, we were in lockdown, so I knew that all of our outgoings were literally halved. So there's so many things I don't need to do anymore, so I don't need that money now. So this is actually the way that and I've tried to do this with a friend of mine. I've got a friend who is a comedian, not full-time. I'd love them to be full-time because they are fucking awesome. He's got a full-time job. He's on about 100 grand a year. So obviously that
parity is difficult to get to. You're not going to get there.
Well, that's the thing. It's not. This is the thing. It's really, really not. So he's 100 grand a year. So that's a big risk to go from 100 grand a year to potentially nothing.
And again, kids, partner,
yep,
all of that.
Yeah. Right. So I was like, this is how I worked it out. Your 100 grand a year is actually only about 55 grand a year. Yeah. That's what you're getting after tax. So that's really what you need to be earning. You need to do 55 grand a year. If you're able to get gigs on the weekend, literally Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you can double up, which is easy to do. Because he's got an agent. This is doable. That's easily just for those 3 days. That's 30 grand a year. Just for your weekend's work. If you're doing decent clubs and you're doubling, you can potentially do more. That's just for the weekend. Now you're full time. You can do gig nights on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but you've also got things like cruise ships. So I'm like, get yourself 5 revenue streams. So you've got live work. You've got cruises, which you can get onto. You've got corporate work, which you can do. Like your voiceovers, you can apply to do. But even if you were just to get yourself the weekend comedy, and you get yourself 10 cruises a year, maybe even 5 cruises a year, that's now easily you've gone over 50k. And from a tax point of view, that first 12.5 grand is tax free. So you're only getting taxed on the.
I didn't know he'd be coming here and we'd be doing financial advice, but I love it. Yeah.
You get that. That's the way I looked at it. You get that next 30 grand, but also because you're now self-employed, your travel is deductible. Part of your bills are deductible. So that money now, out of that, you might only pay a couple of grand tax out of all that. So that's most of that money coming in is yours to keep. And then it's just going to grow from there. So I went and looked through this, and I thought, right, if I'm going to quit my job, I'm going to attack comedy the same way I would attack a new client. So I would still get up and I'd work 10 to 6 every day just on comedy. Can we send out emails to this? And literally I sat with my agent and we were both so focused because I was like, I had a net to fall on. That's gone now. So there's no plan B. Yeah. There isn't this now has to work. And I think that's a very different mentality when you go, you have to do it.
This being Project Possible, the whole point of, my mentality around this is, being everybody wants to be happy, healthy, fulfilled. It's how. Right?
Yeah.
And, the fact is you've a lot of people will be thinking, well, I can't do those things because I'm stuck doing what I'm doing because I've got these responsibilities. And, you build a barrier between you and the thing that you want to do.
Yes,
and
very much so.
And you didn't do that. You said, do you know what? Actually, let me see how I can make it work. And again, your partner was quite supportive of this, was she?
Yeah. And I think when I've spoken to people about doing like any project really, and it's like the instinct is you're telling me all the reasons why we can't do it or why it won't work. What about we focus on what happens if it does work?
Yeah.
Because we're doing the whole what if it goes wrong, but what if it goes right? Yeah. But at least then if it goes wrong, at least you know it went wrong.
Exactly.
But not knowing it could have gone right.
Well, that's, I guess, what I'm doing with this is commercially, I don't know how this works yet. It costs me money to do this.
Yeah.
Until it doesn't.
Yes.
And how do I get to that? I've run a business, it was successful. I know how to do that. If I just apply the same things to this, then hopefully I can get to that point. But obviously you are, as your son said, on TV all the time. You got any sitcom ideas?
I've got loads that we're working on, and that's such a long process. Yeah. There's stuff that we've got with broadcasters now. There's one that I'm wanting to get off the ground, which is basically, it's kind of autobiographical. I can't even say it.
Autobiographical.
There we go, autobiographical, which is about a bouncer that wants to do musical theatre. Yeah. So been working, but there's quite a few.
And you've written it?
Yeah, that one's written a pilot for that one. So now it's trying to shop these around.
Yeah.
And get these ideas, but it's also the comedy entertainment stuff. Like I'd love to host panel show, game show. Yeah. I want to do a panel show. I want to do a panel show for like adults where they're allowed to swear.
Yeah, I guess there aren't any, are there? No, that's true.
I love that. We really hear what people actually think about stuff. Or a game show where someone loses and goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" And I want to see that. I think that'd be hilarious to watch.
Just touching on musical theatre. Because I feel like I could chat to you for half an hour about it. I'm also a bigger guy that loves musical theatre.
Yeah.
Right? And also musicals in general. I could watch High School Musical 1 to 3 and tell you everything that's coming up.
Yeah.
Every beat, but and then back to Lion King and Chicago, and I love the theatre. What's your favourite musical theatre show?
Show right now, Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Went to see it. A friend of mine's in it, and it is incredible.
My partner just went on Friday.
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
Moulin Rouge is a fantastic show. They've done such a good job on it. But then I've got different genres because if we're going to go film, Little Shop of Horrors is my absolute jam. Yeah. But then you got more recent times, which Sister Act 1 and 2, which I put together.
They've been put together?
No, I put them together.
Oh, you put them together, right.
Because I never watched one without the other. I watch them now back to back.
I heard you talking about Sister Act 2 and it being your favourite film.
I know the entire choreography from Sister Act 2.
Which is wonderful.
Yeah, I will still practice it in my mind just to make sure that one day...
Someone
might need me to do it one day and I need to be show ready.
Yeah. So, what role would you play in Sister Act 2?
Oh, actually, you know what? I think I haven't got the singing ability to hit any of them high notes.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous high note.
I think I'd be one of the rappers because that I could do.
Okay.
It's incredible. Like I love the theatre. Like it's just such a nice escape.
Like, how were your mates with you when you were? How old were you when you started kind of watching like Annie?
Oh God, I've always done it. Like no one. Nice thing is, none of my friends care.
Yeah.
Like it's we of all the stuff. Even think that was never the stuff we took the piss out of. Yeah. It'd be a bad haircut. That's what you get to the piss out of.
Yeah.
Like, or it's so weird to think all the personal stuff it was just always accepted.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, none of us care about that.
Can I ask you what drives you now, and is it different to what used to drive you?
Oh yeah, I'm driven by happiness. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I've already made it because I can take a weekend off because I want to. Yeah. My kids are happy. Everyone's healthy. The bills are paid. Like,
that's actually another question: is do you feel like you've made it?
Yeah, like anything now is a bonus. Right. And like, I remember going to Aldi with a very specific list and a calculator because I knew for that week we could only spend £112.13. Yeah. And going, oh, we're going to have to put that back because it wasn't in the budget. Yeah. And then I remember going to Aldi, and it wasn't that long ago, to go shopping and just sort of going through and go, oh, yeah, we need a load of those. Oh, we need a load of those. Yeah. And it being okay. And it was such a warm feeling. Nice, It is because
financial security. I remember being a kid and those people that when they're putting petrol in their cars look away.
Yeah, I'm that guy now.
Yeah,
it feels really good.
I don't want to look at the numbers anymore.
You just fill it up and then click and then go and pay. Yeah. We could never do that before. There's £30 of petrol going in that, and it'd be on the dot. Yeah. £29.94 if I could make it.
In my mum's car, it used to be whatever's in the dash or what, so it'd be like £4.07.
Yeah, and it feels so nice to be. But I think it's also like having that because when it comes to your kids, another thing that drives me is I can't tell my kids to work hard if daddy doesn't work hard. So I need to show them what's possible if you try. So that's the main thing.
It's like we've choreographed this because my last thing, again, Project Possible, is what's possible is it genuinely is. It might not be possible today, tomorrow, next week, next year, but if you put your mind to it, it's how do you achieve it?
Yes. And, well, this is how it works in tech. You work backwards. You go, this is what I want to do. Yeah. Now, how do I do it? Exactly. That's what you go. And I do the same thing now with comedy. I go, that's the show I want to do. How do we get there? Yeah. This is what I need to write. So how do we get there?
If you complete the sentence, anything is possible if.
Anything's possible if you believe, is what I think. Because how many things have been impossible? It used to be impossible to run a 4-minute mile until somebody did it.
And then everybody does it.
Yeah.
Isn't that like...
That's the thing.
Sub 10.
I think there's no... Impossible is more of a concept. It just means no one's done it yet. Yeah. That's it.
So what's like... If Live at the Apollo was the goal for you, you said, right, from open mic 5 years, I want to do Live at the Apollo. Yeah. And I think you said it was around that, right? 5, 6. If that was your goal then, what's your goal now?
My goal now is, my next goal, I want a comedy special. Yeah. But I want a Netflix, a Sky TV, a broadcasted comedy special. And I want to do a 400,000 ticket tour.
Nice. How many do you think you're going to do in this next tour? Or what's the capacity?
This one, I'll probably reckon we'll get up to about 20,000.
Right.
So I've got a couple of years before we get to that point.
400,000.
But that's the goal.
So we're talking stadiums.
That's for me. I'll do theatres. So you're doing theatres that are like that's probably a 2-year theatre tour with like 3,000 tickets per show. Yeah. That's what I want to go for.
Nice. Do you want to tell us about your tour coming up and where people can buy tickets?
Life After Near Death. Life After Near Death starts in September, and I'm touring the whole country. All the tickets are on my website, emmanuelstandup.com. Lots of shows are starting to sell out now, which is wonderful. So we are going to be adding some more dates for next year. But there's a mailing list on there, so all of the information.
Sign up to the mailing list.
Yeah, go and get all the information. And like this show as well, it's very different to what I've done before, so I'm really looking forward to this. It's a lot more...
How is it different?
It's a lot more personal, a lot more honest. I've cried so many times writing this show, and it is...
Is it mostly around that realisation that you could have died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And coming... every time I rewrite the show, I come to terms with something else. I'm like, for fuck's sake, I wasn't going to cry today, and now here it is.
We're growing up with 5 sisters.
Yeah,
imagine
everything.
They're beating you down into a...
Yeah, even on the phone with my mum the other day, like trying to pick her up from the airport, like when I put the phone down, like I got choked up because I was just like, it just feels so nice that she's still here, that we get to do this.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That really is lovely. Well, I think that's a really lovely place to end it. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank you very
much. Appreciate you
me.
Making time, and just really enjoyed that. Could have spoken for much longer, but thank you.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.